Hi, my name is Ann Walker and I'm the owner of HandMade WV Market here in Marlinton, West Virginia, and I'd like to invite you all in to see what we have to offer. As our sign, our logo says, we offer arts, crafts, and food, all West Virginia sourced and made. Mostly in the county, Pocahontas County, but we do take vendors from across the state. We support local food efforts. We believe that sourcing local saves energy, saves time, supports local farmers, that type thing. So, and then is a lot healthier in general. There's less chances of pesticides and other chemicals. We're a registered farmers market with the state of West Virginia Department of Agriculture, and so we participate in a lot of the state programs. In 2024, we were a participant in the Kids Market at the Store. That is a program that educates young people, children, about the value of locally produced nutritious foods. We probably had 30 kids or so that came in on a regular basis for 6 weeks that pulled out produce and picked out things that they wanted to eat and used their tokens to purchase healthy food. Unfortunately, this year the program has been cut, so we won't be participating.
Written on the box
What it
there.
is, okay.
The price and
Okay.
how much it is.
I am just tickled to death. You're one of my on my to-dos. I've had a lot of people asking me for.
I'm Evan Rose, and I'm with Roseboro Farm, and I supply Ann Walker here at HandMade West Virginia with local grown and processed meat products, with beef and pork products available here at HandMade West Virginia.
Our local foods that we carry that are shelf stable is Arbol Farm. These are Bloody Butcher grits made from the Bloody Butcher corn. We also buy in bulk the buckwheat pancake mix. And then this mix is our own mix. So we go through and we add baking powder, baking soda, and salt and sugar and create a 100% buckwheat pancake mix. So there's no other flours and it's gluten-free and everything like that. The other thing that we do that we're working on is seasoned salts. These are a lemon and basil salt that you can use in your own home cooking. We're out of it now, but we have plans to do more in 2026, but we did a ramp salt and we've sold about 50 of those jars. So this coming spring, when the ramps come back around, we hope to have 3 or 4 bushels of ramps to dehydrate and to make into like a salt so that we have a longer supply. We carry Arbol Farm cornmeal. This is just another product, and it's 100% cornmeal. We don't do anything to add to it. And then over here we do their creamy grits, and then just plain buckwheat flour with no additives. And then in our kitchen, we do things like jellies and jams and maple candied nuts. These are made with Hillsborough Maple Works syrup, so it's 100% maple syrup and local. We go through and dehydrate fruit in our health department approved kitchen, and as a result we've come up with a cocktail infusion type kit. Our goal is to use as many local produces that we can. So in peach season we'll use West Virginia peaches, blueberries, blackberries, black raspberries, the whole 9 yards. So as long as we can source it, we can dehydrate it here and then put these kits together. As part of our effort to provide local foods, we have recently become a dairy distributor licensed through the Department of Agriculture. So we carry byproducts of bees. This is a beeswax candle, and it was molded. It's not been carved. It's a mold by Sandy Simmons, who lives on Droop Mountain, and she's a beekeeper. Occasionally we carry her honey, but this and other products that are made in West Virginia, we have about 80 to 85 different vendors. So we have the Greenbrier River Trail banner. These are made by a local lady by the name of Janet Barker. And so on these, her bike is you can bike on the river trail, you can canoe on the river trail, and then of course it is in West Virginia. And you can hike, obviously, on the river trail, and you can camp. So she's done these to give some people primitive ideas for decorating, but then also it's a great way to promote the Greenbrier River Trail. This is Bonnie Johnson. She is one of our local blacksmiths. Her and her husband Mike were employed at one point on a plantation in Virginia as blacksmiths. She really makes some just really cool, useful items. This is a steak turner or a meat turner that you would use on your grill, and so you would use that point to flip your meat. She came into possession of a good supply of this flooring. It's hardwood flooring, and it's from the Mower Lumber Company, which was the last company that owned and ran the cast mill. And so Bonnie is upcycling these and adding her blacksmith work and making coat hangers with them, or coat racks. So here at HandMade West Virginia Market, we offer these unique pieces of West Virginia that you may or may not be able to find anyplace else. We were the recipient of the West Virginia Food and Farm Coalition Small Business Grants. And as a result, we have installed 2 30-foot greenhouses on our property that we rent, and 34 raised beds. And so the idea with this is that our produce will actually come from behind the store. So this year we are just in a construction mode and are hoping that by the fall we'll have most of our beds made, filled, and that type thing. But we had volunteer plants because there's compost that I incorporated into the beds, and so we're getting cucumbers and cherry tomatoes. We've got some lovely cherry tomatoes that come from out back, and then our tomato crop is starting to take off a little bit. These are all volunteer. I didn't really plant any tomatoes this year. They just kind of came up. And then we have a garden at my home in Hillsboro, and the yellow squash are from there. So all of these are garden fresh and available for WIC and Farmers Market senior vouchers. We have woodworking locally done in Summersville, West Virginia. This is Gilbert Moyers. I actually went to college with, I call him Gibby, went with in the 90s, was in grad school when he was an undergrad. And Gibby is a forester. He harvests his own wood and then does lumber, cuts lumber, and then uses that lumber to create different wood products as far as cutting boards. And this is an outline of West Virginia. He does Lazy Susans, just wine racks. He just does a whole variety of just really cool West Virginia real wood products. He's not a person that goes to Lowe's to buy his lumber, so to speak. He actually goes out in the backwoods of West Virginia and finds the lumber that he wants to create something really cool for your house. This leather work is done by a gentleman by the name of Ron Swanberg, and Ron has been doing leather work probably since the 70s, mid to late 70s. So he's been in the business for about 40 years, and he does really beautiful handwork on his leather products. This most of what he does with his leather is cow leather, but he offers different size belts. There's wallets that he hand makes, and it's a good quality wallet. The belts last forever. These are cell phone type leather pouches that go on your belt, kind of thing. And then most popular, these, he calls them hair things. But this is a throwback to the 70s. Ron was probably the original inventor of these. He's been doing them since then. He does a wide variety. We get a lot of kids who like the braided leather bracelets, and those come in all kinds of different colors. But Ron just does a wide variety of things, but he's semi-retired at this point. He's a grandpa and wants to spend time with his grandkids, and then this kind of gives him we give him an outlet in the market for the things that he is still trying to make. We use our kitchen. We're health department approved kitchen, like we said before, but we have a weekly special. This week it just happens to be the chicken burrito bowl, which is Mexican flavored chicken on a bed of lettuce with corn and black beans and pico de gallo, sour cream, and cheddar cheese. So people who work in town come in and place their order or do a grab and go type thing. It's been hot this summer, so we haven't done a whole lot as far as having weekly specials in July, but we're getting back into it. Also, we custom catering for different events and that type thing. So, if you have an event or anything like that that you need catered, we're kind of a one woman show, so to speak, but we can feed up to around 125 people. So if you have anything like that, you can contact us and see what we can do for you. We're putting together, we have like 34 raised beds, and you can kind of see the stages. These are grass clippings and fruits and vegetables that are past their prime. And so we're giving that back to nature in order to generate heat underneath the soil that we put in. So what we've done here is these are Brussels sprouts, and obviously we'll be adding more soil because there's just grass clippings, and the grass clippings settle and the soil settles, so we'll be adding some more soil there. But this will actually be covered we'll have PVC pipe, and then we'll have plastic over it once the cold winter hits. And then hopefully the compost that's under there will generate enough heat to prevent freezing over the winter time. And so like these 4 beds, we'll receive a little bit more compost, and then they'll be covered with potting soil, a pro mix type thing, and then we'll plant this fall lettuces, cabbages, broccolis, the fall crops that withstand freezing. And then we'll eventually, hopefully, not the same week, these greenhouses will be lined with greenhouse plastic, and then they have their covers, and we'll bolt those down and put cinder blocks to hold everything and make it airtight for the winter. And then we will use a terracotta pot candle apparatus in the greenhouses to kind of provide extra heat for the coldest days of the winter. And then in the spring, once we are past the point of frost, the covers will come off again, the tomatoes and the vines will be allowed to grow, and the pumpkins and gourds and things like that will use these frames to grow on. And our hope is that it provides shade for the other plants, because we are on the south side of the building. This gets intensely hot because it receives probably, I would say, anywhere from 8 to 10 hours of sun a day. But we've also are using that to our advantage in the wintertime, which is why we laid black landscaping fabric to build our boxes on, because that will hold heat and will heat the greenhouses once they're covered and everything. We do rain collection. We collect rainwater and we use it to keep the garden going in the winter or the summertime, and we'll continue to do that. And then eventually, hopefully this fall, we'll have a fenced area, and it will be about 2,300 square feet with 34 raised beds and two 30-foot greenhouses. So we're hoping that if we have a good green thumb, next year most of our produce will come from right out back of our store. So we're basically we're marketing our homestead basically here, to where we cut down costs, we cut down cost of food. We can offer, if we grow this, we can offer tomatoes at $2 or $2.50 a pound as opposed to $3 or $3.50. So we're making an effort through the local food to where we can kind of fight inflation and offer things at a lesser price for local people. So yeah, we're excited to kind of get this all done and get things underway and see what we can grow for the store.